Gwent Homecoming. See, what's next for Gwent? Gwent Homecoming, an open letter from Marcin Iwinski and development team. I love Gwent. Well, I mean, I feel like if you were on the dev team, you would have to say that. Especially when I'm winning. No shit. At times I hate it. It's when I get my ass kicked. I kind of disagree with that. I feel like losing isn't bad if, like, you lost in an interesting way. Gwent is one of the very few games I play almost every day. I clock close to 350 hours. Amateur. Why am I telling you this? It's because I want you to know that I'm invested and treat Gwent very personally. I still remember the excitement of E3 when we announced Gwent on PC and console. It was a blast. Well received by both you gamers and the media. I think we could have a better opening, and boy were we naive. Compared to single-player RPGs we had been creating so far, we didn't realize how different it was to operate in development, a live game at the same time. A year later we took Gwent to public beta, and again tons of gamers jumped in and checked it out. We still had a lot to learn, but as always we adapted. When we didn't realize back then was that we also started slowly drifting away from our original vision for standalone Gwent. While fighting with the everyday reality of regular updates and content drops, we lost sight of what was unique and fun about the game. And you played a big role in making us realize that. Thank you for your sincere feedback. We never accepted good enough at our company. We have always taken risks and made bold decisions if we believed they would result in a better game, and you've guessed it, we've just made one now. A bold decision. I feel like they are, like, setting us up for bad news at this point. Like, this is how this kind of feels for me. We'll see how it goes. We call this project Gwent Homecoming. We want Gwent to kick some serious ass and reignite your passion for our beloved CCG. We would like to ask you for your trust and patience. See, there we go. Patience. This is the word. We need 6 months of fully focused development to deliver what we've planned. Aside from standard season transitions, an event like faction challenges or warped arena rule sets, we will release only 2 updates during this time. Wait, what? Wait, no. Like 6 months from now? May, June, July, August, October. Okay. Well, I guess I gotta find someone else to do with my time, huh? Oh no. Okay, so 1 April it will introduce missing premium cards as well as faction-specific board skins. That's basically nothing. And 1 in May, which will balance out the game, war dancer included, with a new approach to create. 6 months is a long time. However, on the flip side, after Homecoming concludes, we will go out of beta and release Thronebreaker at the same time. Don't worry about your progress. Once Homecoming is complete for a limited time, you'll have the ability to mill all of your cards for their full value. So, I don't get it. Are they going to reset the cards? Like, is that it? You have the ability to mill all of your cards for their full value. Regarding our esports activities, for now, our calendar is not changing. As for details on Homecoming, Kaizia and Raphael, Gwent's leads, have broken down the project into the following key pillars. Turning Gwent into a battlefield. When you play Gwent, you are a leader of an army from the world of The Witcher. We want to put more effort into reflecting that in-game mechanics and visuals. As an example, we would like to introduce a preferred row for some cards that would grant them additional benefits when put on that row. Also, rows in front and backward always grant a different buff when a unit's placed on it. This is actually something we talked about on the Top Deck talk show, so that is something that I would like to see. But in 6 months' time, I don't know. Currently, rows don't have direct impact on gameplay. If we count the hand of both players, we are looking at 8 rows in total. Our greatest visual asset, card art, and premium versions of cards are too small to shine in the current view. What we're aiming for is a complete overhaul of the visual experience. The redesign will leave no stone unturned. We're even considering cutting one of the rows and leaving only melee and ranged. It's still something that requires extensive testing, but we're that serious about making things work. Okay, I'm okay with that. Currently, going second can give players a significant advantage. We heard you, we will fix the coin flip, and are already testing possible solutions. Revamping player progression. We have a lot of things planned for new and returning players. We will be offering a proper tutorial to ease first-time players into playing Gwent. There will also be a new leveling system, achievements, and a revised ranked mode, all with suitable rewards. So, they're changing player progression. Player progression's alright. I don't see it as a big issue. Focusing on skill and player agency. We heard you discussing the create mechanic. At first we thought it would be an interesting addition to the game, but as time passed we realized that this form of wide RNG is not something that fits our focus on player skills. We will be extra careful with these types of mechanics in the redesign process. That said, if we manage to find some cards interesting enough to include, but not too crazy for ranked, they will still have their place in arena and casual mode. Refocusing on core gamers. We want Gwent to remain a deep game where each faction has its identity and offers distinctive gameplay archetypes. We want rows to really matter in terms of gameplay, and gameplay itself need to be engaging. Like, we covered that. You covered that, like, up here when you were talking about rows. Bringing back The Witcher. Homecoming will bring back a darker aesthetic and mood, more in sync with the original Witcher lore. We'll change the main menus and in-game shop as well. I like Shoop, as well as work on consistent UI and UX throughout the entire game. Thronebreaker. We have saved the best for last. After Homecoming concludes, we will launch Gwent along with Thronebreaker, our single-player campaign. A dedicated team has been hard at work to deliver you a great new story from the Witcher universe. Expect goodness. The fuck? I don't understand. Like, you can't just stop making a game for 6 months when Artifact is coming out probably this year into like some sort of beta, like closed beta. Like, people are already testing Artifact. That is common knowledge. Certain people have access to, you know, an NDA closed version. So this is a time where you have to be making big updates and pushing big content and getting people interested in your game. And like, time to take a 6-month break. Like, you've already had a 3-month break. 4-month break. It's April. What are you going to do? Just not make anything for 6 months and then what, October try again? I can kind of understand why the roadmap was delayed, given the information in it. And I mean, you've got Magic the Gathering Arena as well. I don't find it as enticing as other online card games, but I don't see people sticking around. Like, I think that a lot of players right now have been waiting. A lot of players have been waiting for an update, basically. This is basically like the patch waiting room. And I feel like Gwent has just become like the Artifact waiting room at this point. Because it's going to be very difficult for anyone to want to stick with the game until October. So what, does everyone just stop and come back in October? I don't know. I think you burn bridges by doing that. You spurn a lot of people. And then at that point, are people going to be interested in coming back? Like, what do I do for 6 months? Oh well, I guess it's time to find a new game, boys and girls. We're going to be a Hearthstone streamer from now on. And then play Artifact when it comes out. To be honest, I was looking forward to Artifact. It is definitely something that I've been interested in, regardless of the state of Gwent. But honestly, this feels, I don't know, it feels like a nail in the coffin. I thought, like, if they had, like, Thronebreaker or something to tide people over, maybe that would be okay. You know, maybe? But it's almost as if they're like, you know what, like, scrap that, we're just going to cancel this and start again. But you can't start again with game development. Like, you've put something out there, and you've gotten thousands of people interested in it, and now you're like, yeah, fuck you guys, you know? Well, I see that you enjoyed what we were doing, but instead of doing that, we're actually just not going to play games at all, and we're just going to kind of, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think you'd have to make your relaunch really huge, but to me it feels like too little, too late is how I would see it. I don't think people will come back. Like, I guess that's really sad. That's really sad. Like, I feel kind of upset about this. Oh well. We move on. We live. We find something else to do. If anyone wants to release a CCG around now, with a big audience, I don't know, like Valve or someone, like, now would maybe be the time to do it. Now would maybe be the time to do it. Yeah, so that's that. Right, well, I guess I'm going to be putting this on YouTube, so I'll leave it here, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Leave a like. Tell me what to do with my life. And you can always find me on Twitter at Jaggerous and on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Jaggerous. Seems bad.